When he turned his back from shoulder to shoulder, it looked like as wide as the tailgate of a truck.
And just darkness, literal darkness, just came like all over, just all over me except where I was standing.
This thing let out the most blood-curdling, mind-blowing, spine-tingling scream that you've ever heard in your life, and it cut through me like a knife.
And I knew that they were going to take me. I just knew it. And then the next thing I can remember is being levitated.
Well, when I look in there, I see two big eyes staring back at me.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Bump Podcast, a place for the believers of the unexplained, monsters, and paranormal. Join us, and we'll go face to face with what goes bump in the night. Hey there, believers. I got another exciting episode for you today. This week, we're bringing back George Lunsford, author. You see his book over here. It's Legends, Myths, Monsters, and Ghosts. This is volume 2. He's got a series of books out. You can pick them up on Amazon. Also, he has a new book coming out, and I wanted to bring him on the show to talk about it because I love his work. I love what he does, and he's a lot of fun to talk to. I'm trying to work on the lighting a little bit, trying to make it a little more fun, a little cooler in here. I'm not having a great success with it yet, but we'll figure it out. Before we start, let me just tell you, Shadow Appalachia is taking off. It's a new docu-series brought out by Merkel Media. Ward Honey's going to be producing or directing the show, rather. He is the man behind the popular series Dark Holler. So if you haven't seen that yet, you probably have, but if you haven't yet, it's on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. It's Ward, Josh and Richie from the Sword and Staff podcast, myself. Tony's going to be coming in later episodes, I believe, later on in the season of season 1. So that'll be exciting to finally be around him, work with him and stuff. It's just we're doing big things, and there's several other guys. Cole, Travis, Dave. I'm probably missing some. I'm sorry if I am, but it's going to be a big project. We're all united under the banner of being Christian men, ready and actively doing spiritual warfare to reclaim dominion for Christ. But it's all paranormal. You got to understand, this is a supernatural series, and it doesn't disappoint. My first time going out with the guys, I can't give you too many details, but you can see the trailers. Trailers are available now on YouTube. You can go to help, get the Kickstarter going. I have links on my Facebook page. I know the rest of the guys do. Sword and Staff podcast have links on their pages. I think Tony put a link on the confessionals. So just go check it out. Support the show. Help that project grow. I think we begin filming again February or March, so we're going to have to, have everything in place soon. We plan to release late summer, early fall, I think, next year. So it'll go fast. It'll happen fast. So check that out. If you want to purchase any kind of swag or any kind of ugly Christmas gear, I got it available on the Believer store. Go check that out. You can still sign up on Patreon. We have about 1 million tier levels to choose from. I think from $2 up to $30 maybe a month. $2 a month. I don't know how they allow it to be that low, but it's just for that's just to throw out some support. Any amount is greatly appreciated, especially as it gets more expensive to do things to try to get the show up to a higher level, a higher caliber of show. It's not cheap, but I'm trying to keep everything, the regular feed free. So we're doing it. That's happening. Also, you can join through the Believers Only section on the podcast on the podcast website. That's $1.75 a week for now. First of the year, I'm probably going to have to change that because of surcharges. They are killing me with surcharges. They're taking like 30% of that money in surcharges. So those prices may vary. It won't be by much. It might just be the way I arrange it, weekly versus just do a monthly, to sum it up, monthly charge. Same amount of money. But if it comes out in a different way, they seem to charge it less. It's you guys that are into this stuff, you know how all that goes. Anyway, any other announcements? I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everybody has good, safe plans for the upcoming Christmas. This podcast, this episode will land somewhere in between the two. I'm just excited. I'm excited to bring George on. Let's go ahead and send him this invite.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How's it going, George?
Pretty good for an old fat man.
Oh, well, it's been a while since I had you on the show. I don't remember, to be honest, the season and episode number. I should have looked that up before I took it off pause here and started recording, but it was it's probably been a year or close to it since I've had you on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
You're always record with those, so it's all good.
I appreciate you, man. Oh man. Last time you were on, I believe we talked about quite a bit. We had some discussions about your books. We talked about the Bermuda Triangle too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my one and only to this day Bermuda Triangle episode. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I like to be different.
Yeah. Well, what are we going to get into today?
Well, I took my book. I took all the books I did before, and I combined them into one. Then I added over 100 more stories to it. We call it the USA edition.
Wow. And is that on Amazon?
It is.
Same title, the Legends, Myths, Monsters, and Ghosts.
The USA edition.
The USA edition.
About 590 pages.
Oh my gosh.
I changed some stuff around there a little bit. Unfortunately, I put two pictures of this ugly mug in there. You have to look at. One of them was at the Honey Island Swamp, and the other one was at Bray Road.
Oh, nice. Bray Road.
Considering the lady that rode Bray Road just passed away, which I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, man. That's what I was going to say too. God bless her soul. That was a hard hit for the crypto world right there.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It was a shock.
Yeah. Like I don't think it was expected. Nobody saw that one coming.
I wish I'd like to meet her. She had some interesting books.
Oh yeah, yes she did. I got a couple. The USA edition. Where can that be found? Is that on Amazon already? Is it ready for Christmas?
Amazon now. It's there. All you got to do is pick it up.
Awesome. So that'll go on the wish list for everybody, right? I
hope so.
I do too, man.
I hope people enjoy the stories. That's what the whole thing is. I'm not worried about getting rich and none of that crazy crap, because I know I have, but I want people to just enjoy reading my books.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're entertaining. Like you're fun to talk to, and your books, you can see your personality in the books. It's
that could be good, that could be bad.
It's a great thing. You're good at what you do, man. You're good at what you do.
Appreciate it.
So tell me about this new book. I know you got one coming.
I do got one coming next year.
Okay.
It's called Monsters of the World. What I did is I decided, you know what? Let's have like a little reference guide for people to see monsters from everywhere else. Because I mean, we all have heard of Bigfoot and Mothman and all that here, but what is there overseas? So the books broke down into 7 continents, and I did monsters from every continent. We've got Old Shucks, which is a big black ghost dog in England. I've got I actually threw leprechauns and gnomes in there just because you kind of have to have them, you know.
Gotta
You
have
talk
little
about,
people.
you know, got all kinds of wild and strange creatures, which I don't know if they're real, but if some of them are real. I don't want to meet them.
What are some standard if you with this many monsters in the book, it won't be too big of a spoiler if you tell me about a couple of them. Are you? Do you have anything on the top of your mind that you could share? Tell me some stories.
There's one I can't remember what continent it was. Let me look and see here real quick.
Oh man, if you have excerpts, I would love to hear.
I don't. I put down the monsters I wanted to do in a notebook.
Sweet, yeah, man, let's do it.
One of the ones I did today is called how was it? I can't pronounce it. It's ADZE, as. It's a vampire creature, and this vampire creature, it's a shapeshifter also. But what it does, it's attached to a witch's coven. So when it attaches to that coven, it usually shows up as a bird.
Mm.
And it's really cool. No, let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I'm confused. I hate when I do that. That one is it looks like a firefly, and it's also a shapeshifter. So it shifts into a human, and if it shifts into a human, it can possess another human.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it is cool. I mean, there's all these creatures I've been studying about are amazing. They really are. I got the basilisk over in Europe. I did Old Shucks, like I said, it's like a big black wolf-like creature,
Oh yeah.
red eyes. And I have a real life encounter I've added to that story.
Really?
By a man named Johnny Ellett. If I
Nice.
said it, I am terrible at names, so I apologize if I said his name. Great guy, really was. I've talked to him, and I've watched his video where he did an interview about this encounter that he had. He thought it was a dog man, but everything he speaks about in his encounter all points to being the black shuck.
Really? Is it that big of an animal?
It's a huge wolf creature, yes.
Oh wow.
Has big, bright red eyes.
Right.
Sometimes that's all you can see because it comes through the fog.
Well, that's all I would need, man. We're all right.
But yeah, I got people who sent me an encounter with a pterodactyl type creature in England.
Really?
A Bigfoot in England. I got those encounters are all right there in England, and the people sent them to me to put in the book.
Wow. See, now that's something special. You know, when you have firsthand experiences and stuff that you can add to it, that adds validity to your monsters there.
Yeah, and I felt so honored that they trusted me enough for me to put it in the book. That's what made me feel really good.
Yeah.
As they actually shared their story and allowed me to put it in the book. But I think you'll enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy reading about the Mongolian death worm. You've got things in here that there's just creatures you just can't imagine. Dragons. Who would have ever thought that they have videos of dragons in China?
Really?
Yeah. As a guy, I watched the video. Most of them you can tell look fake on a lot of them. But there's one guy, I swear, it's just like you're sitting there with him watching on the video. It's an incredible video.
Wow.
But there's so many of them, and there's so many great stories that goes with these things. And I know I sound a little crazy about it, but I'm getting into it big time.
Hey, man. You're doing what you love, you know?
It is. I thoroughly love sharing these stories with people. I love for them to know what's. I mean, it kind of pulls you out of your own bubble and lets you see what else is out there, what else is going on. There's one that was hilarious. It was in Asia, and he's a pervert. It's a pervert.
You got to tell me more about that one, man. You can't just leave it at that.
The creature, I think it's called a kappa. It's Kappa,
Uh-huh.
and it's known to watch women take baths and shower, or baths in ponds and waterfalls, and will kidnap and molest them.
Oh my gosh. It's like a little peeping Tom.
Yeah, with a turtle shell.
You can't make that up. You know what I mean? It's like
No, it's beyond me. There's no way. I mean, I have a really good imagination, but some of these, I mean, you got one. There's one of the creatures, it's a female, but her body splits in half, and the top part of her body flies around with her guts hanging out.
where's that at?
It's in Asia. They got some good ones in Asia.
Yeah, man. Well, they got those scary ghosts over there, man.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
They get pretty dark. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Europe, what got me about Europe is that, I mean, we have a lot of the same creatures here, but we don't have the banshee. We don't have black shuck. We don't have the basilisk. So I picked ones that was different than anything we have here
Yeah.
to put in there. And I got trolls in there. There's the Bigfoot, the pterodactyls that was in there. But there's so many creatures that if you look back, they actually have connections to like the Ice Age and dinosaur periods. And it looks to me like a lot of them are left over from that period of time.
You know, I believe that there's what's it called? Maybe the Ogopogo. Is that one of them? Is that overseas or is that here?
That is crap. I don't remember where it is. I know it's overseas. Yeah.
Okay. They got. It seems like Africa had a few like dinosaur creatures.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Still.
I've done some of Africa already, and I've run into some of that already. They even have some that they're considering cryptids that they actually have. They naturally have seen, and they actually see them, and they know they exist, but they're still calling them cryptids. Like that Billy 8. It's BILI 8.
Uh-huh.
It's a giant chimpanzee, and they've called it. They've got the DNA, but they're still calling it a cryptid, which doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it don't.
It's a huge chimpanzee. I mean, it's good size.
Is it getting close to Bigfoot size?
Well, it's about double the size of a regular chimp, a full-grown chimp. And it had the hair's right. Don't have hair hardly. It almost looks like it's just skin.
Really? I'm going to check that out. That's almost like the size of a man.
Yeah, yeah. It's something else. It really is. But they've got, and half these creatures, I believe, I don't even think they're even folklore. I think they're real in Africa because they've got some stuff there that, like there's a creature that I was working on earlier. It's called, let me see here. Nandi, Nandi bear. And if you just read the description, it's like they describe it as being looks like a mix between a hyena and a baboon.
Where'd they get a bear from?
But they had concept pictures, and it looks like a fuzzy hyena with longer legs.
Man, you know, in Africa, that's old country. That's like beginning of time old.
Yeah,
that's like Appalachian Mountains old.
Yep. Hey now. But yeah, there's some of these creatures I hope people enjoy. Most of them I've never heard of. That's why I went ahead and pulled them in. Now I could write a book twice this size if I tried to do all of them or bigger, because there's so many. But I wanted to give you guys a taste of some different kind of creatures and their legend behind them, and if there's any sightings. Some of them, like a vampire, you really don't have any sightings of.
Right.
You have a shape shifting creature that eats you. So, no, not a lot of sightings there.
Yeah. No one lived to tell the tale, right?
But I'm really hoping people will enjoy that next year. I hope they enjoyed the book this year too. So,
Oh yeah. Well, tell me more about the one the USA edition. You said you added like almost 100 accounts.
Yes, sir.
How do you do this? Like,
Lots of time behind the computer.
yeah. And how many books were in your series? Were there like 6 books in the series?
The original series was 4.
4.
And then I added, this book, since I put it all together, that give me, some of the stories, but I wanted to give everybody a taste of something new.
Yeah.
So, like in North Carolina, where I'm at, I added in the Brown Mountain Lights, which most people have heard of.
Yes.
I added in Blackbeard's Ghost,
Nice.
which is a hilarious story. Because then you see just how tough Blackbeard really was.
Hey, didn't he? Is he the one that like would light wicks in his beard?
Yep. He was one of the first, one of the really only pirates that really engaged psychological warfare.
Yeah.
People would surrender as soon as they seen him because he scared the daylights out of them. They call him the sea. He got a nickname called the Sea Devil at one time.
Wow.
The funny thing was, if you didn't fight him when he come aboard your ship, he let you live. But if you fought him, he killed you.
Oh wow.
He would take and either free the slaves, we call it slave ships, either free the slaves or he'd sell them. Whatever his needs were at the time, he only stayed what he needed. He wasn't trying to overdo because he shared his booty and stuff with his men.
Yeah.
Before he got killed the night before, he had a huge party. He had hundreds of people there drinking and dancing and having a good time before he was killed.
Wow. He's almost like a Robin Hood of the pirate world. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, man.
That story, because I was writing, I was laughing my hind end off at it anyway.
So you're down in North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
I just spoke to some guys in South Carolina, and I have this nasty habit, man, and please forgive me. I get the two mixed up sometimes between North Carolina and South Carolina. Like, I know the major cities in each one, but like in just general conversation, I don't know. Like some smaller towns, I get confused.
Everybody
I know
does.
people do that with Virginia versus West Virginia, where I'm in West Virginia, and it eats me up sometimes when people was like, "Oh, I've been to Richmond." I'm like, I don't care. I live in a different state,
I've been all over West Virginia too, so I understand. I really can.
But yeah, I get a little confused sometimes, man. But those Brown Mountain Lights, I thought they were in South Carolina.
Oh no, they're not far from my house, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any stories you want to share about anything you've seen? Brown Mountain Lights?
Oh well, as kids, we were pretty. How could you say? Interesting.
Yeah.
And then, so we set it all up. Now you gotta remember, I was a big military guy. I loved the military back when I was in high school and went to ROTC and trained with the Rangers and all this other garbage. We took and got about 30 of us. We put 10 up on the ledge on the lookout that could see where the Brown Mountain light could see Brown Mountain and the lights. The rest of us were on the ground with flare guns and walkie-talkies. And we broke it up the mountain into coordinates so we could find out where the lights were, so we could all go see if we could catch it.
Smart.
Yeah, okay. Bunch of dumb kids. we chased those lights. We never seen them on the ground, but they could see them up on the lookout.
Really?
Yeah. We would shoot the flare up to show our position, and the light would actually come to where the flare come up at.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is that then?
We don't know. We can only speculate that, the stories about it being Indian maidens out, gathering the bodies from the battle and everything. That's what it is. I mean, I don't know what else it could be, because you can't sit on the. We've never seen it on the ground. No, it was there's 20 of us out there looking for them.
That's pretty incredible.
It's amazing. If you sit up on the lookout and look at it, it's just amazing to watch the lights, because they move, they brighten up, they dim down. It's just really awesome.
See, because like I said, I talked to a couple guys, but they're around Spartanburg. Is that right? South Carolina.
Yeah, not far from here. So
okay, so I'm not too far off, because they talked to me about the Brown Mountain Lights before too. Yep. But I actually just had one on the show. Let's see, it comes out 1 week, I think, before this one does. So his name is Josh. He's in South Carolina, and he and two other guys that I've had on the show, Tommy Ray and Alan, they have like a paranormal group that they go out together. And I've spoken to these guys individually, over the last 2.5 years, and got, individual stories, but they're all together now. They're going out and doing Bigfoot investigations and paranormal research and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool bunch of guys, man. And I made them promise me that if they find anything, and when they get something, they'll come talk to me first and let me put it on the show. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They're a good group of guys. Do you do any any on the ground investigative work or anything yet?
I want to. My problem is finding the time, because I work a full-time job. I'm writing the books and I'm remodeling my house.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Say no more, man. I got it. I stay busy, but in the fall it's hunting season, so I stay really busy. Like I'm working full time, going to church 2 or 3 days a week, hunting. Sometimes I'll take off work to go hunting. You know what I mean? Because priorities, right? And,
oh yeah.
And then the podcast. And I'm trying to keep up with the show and the website and all that. And I get it. And now we're doing a new documentary.
Right?
Huh?
You do the podcast all by yourself, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Man, it's a lot of work. It's way more than I thought it was going to be. Trying to do like the cover art, the intro songs, the edits, all that junk.
Well, if it helps, you're doing a really good job.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm not tech savvy at all, George. I was like, it's close enough. You know what I mean?
Well, I enjoy this show. I enjoy coming on. I enjoy listening to it. So, and me, I share the daylights. I love it. So
I appreciate you, man. We got something coming up that maybe we could help lend some information to one of your books in the future.
Okay.
There's a documentary series that I've been brought in to do, to be a part of, and we're calling it Shadow Appalachia.
Oh.
There's another podcast. It's the Sword and Staff podcast. So it's these two guys. They asked me to come on and help out, to be a part of the team. We go out as time permits to go do research and investigate these different areas. But we also got Tony Merkel. He's producing the show, I believe, and he's going to be coming on different parts of the show, the different episodes and stuff from the Confessionals podcast. There was a really successful docuseries that they already did last year, early this year, called Dark Holler. Ooh. And this is like a second series, totally different, but it's big, man. Like,
that's awesome.
The episode that I helped out with already, we went up to these ridges here in Logan County, West Virginia, and found an ancient serpent mound.
Oh.
And it's been lost to history. Like, nobody's been there in 50 years. And here it is right in front of us.
Man, that is awesome.
So it's a lot of fun, man. And I hope that get some people's attention.
Well, I tell you what, like, when you do it, send me the links because I'd love to see it, and I'll definitely spread it around. You know that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's
I
gonna
love
be a lot of fun.
to succeed like this. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Seeing you get more and more. That's fantastic.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. So tell me some more stuff. What's been going on the last year? I know that. Just give me some anecdotes.
Not really a lot. The only one bad thing that did happen, I was supposed to be on a TV show, and it got canceled.
Oh no!
I was supposed to go on and tell about my sightings I had, and the stuff happened to me in the Navy. It's
Yeah.
called Military Experiences or Military something. And I was supposed to show up and tell them about my UFO encounter and my Bermuda Triangle.
Oh man! Well, they missed out because that Bermuda Triangle story still blows my mind. Like, my students listened to that episode, and they talk. Oh yeah, they talked to me about it recently. Like they love it because the Bermuda Triangle is something that's it's known around the world.
Oh yeah, and there's more of them.
Like where?
Oh, you didn't know about it? Oh, there's several different triangle places around the world. You got the Bridgewater Triangle,
Okay, I didn't know that one.
the Alaskan Triangle. You had the Dragon's Triangle over towards Japan around the Ring of Fire that has had more problems than the Bermuda Triangle has.
The Dragon Triangle.
Yep. That's the ones I can remember off my head. There's like 3 or 4 more.
What?
And there's areas where things have happened, like ships disappearing, airplanes disappearing, Bigfoot and a couple other creatures are big in the Alaskan Triangle. They've had all kinds of creatures show up in it. Bridgewater had a bunch of creatures and UFOs, and also UFOs in the Alaskan Triangle. They actually had a picture. I don't know if it was real or not. It looked real. They had in the Dragon's Triangle. They showed a picture of a portal forming. It was wild, and they've had all kinds of ships disappear and sink, and same way with the Bermuda Triangle.
Are you familiar with the triangulation of where it's at in the Dragon Triangle? You said it's close to the Ring of Fire.
I knew where it was for a little while, but I don't remember right now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I just want to make sure I didn't fly through it when I was going to Guam.
Yeah, it would make you a little nervous, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like now that it was over, it's been, I don't know, first trip 17 years, and then the last one's about 13 years. I mean, I've been home for a long time. So it's okay now, but if maybe the other me got stuck in there and I'm just living this life now, I don't know.
I'll try to send you some information on it.
That would be great, man. Oh. Well, are you ready for Christmas?
I haven't bought my wife hardly anything yet, so no.
Me either. I spent like $5 so far on that.
I've got you by a couple of bucks, but not many.
Well, hopefully people will be jumping on here and getting that USA edition of your book.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to put a link on there, George, to my show notes, and I'll try to find a link that I can put onto the the Facebook page and stuff like that too, to try to.
I can send it to you if you want me to. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I'll be looking it up as soon as we get off here. I'm going to be putting it in my cart, so it's on, man. It's on.
What if you're ever around this area, or I ever come around that area, I'll hook up with you and I'll sign it for you.
Hey, please do, brother. I would love that. I would love that.
You're a great guy. More people need to listen to your podcast because you are so much fun to interview with. And I know your other podcasts are good because I listened to some of them.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the show's growing. It's just slow because I refuse to pay for advertisement.
I don't blame you.
all those boost posts for this and that. I thought, man, if I get a couple thousand, 3,000 people, to listen to the show, I'm happy right now.
Oh yeah.
I would love it, to be like hang up the teaching business and do this full time, but I'd be bored, I think.
I
Because
was about to say, wait a minute, I don't know. I think you like him being a teacher.
I
Your
do.
eyes,
I love
you thought about being a teacher. So
it. I love it. I love it. But it would be great if it could supplement the income a little bit better. But it's like you said, we're not in this to get rich. We're in this to have fun and
That's
share
it.
stories, man. That's all.
That's it.
That's it.
What's funny is my grandkids, they're little and they've read my books. So they're always asking Papa this, Papa that about different creatures. And they knew I was in the military. We went to a museum while we was up in Chicago. Well, we was in suburbs of Chicago. We went to a museum called the Volvo Museum, and it has everything in it. We were going through the military part of it, and I have never answered so many questions about military stuff in my life.
Yep. That makes it fun, though, man.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
That does. That makes it fun. Man. Well, George, I guess we'll wrap things up for this episode, this session, whatever you want to call it. It's always wonderful talking to you.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much.
It's a blast because your personality is just like contagious. You know what I mean? Like as soon as your picture come up on my screen, I was like, I'm happy.
I got the fat guy here. We're good to go.
No. Look, if you're fat, then I'm enormous. So let's not do that. Let's not do that.
The picture on the website was back from when I was acting. It was a headshot, so I've gained a little bit of weight since then.
That's all right. We got to put our best foot forward, man. That's how that goes.
I blame my wife because she's from New Orleans, so I get a lot of good cooking.
Oh
so,
yeah.
She's okay. Yeah. Don't want to hear me.
That's the thing I missed the most. I was stationed in Louisiana for 6 years. I missed that cooking, man. I missed the crawfish and the frog legs and the gator tail. And the jambalaya, and there was this place. I know I'm way off topic. I promise I'm wrapping up, but there was a place down there called Bodacious Barbecue. I don't know if they had a chain restaurant or if it was just like a one-off. It was in Shreveport, Louisiana. Bodacious Barbecue, and they had baked potatoes like the size of your head, man, and they filled it with pulled pork, and they had the secret barbecue sauce and cheese and sour cream. Like, man, they know how to eat.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. that was my fat boy moment. All right. Well, we'll get off here to eat. Apparently, I need to eat. George, it's been great talking to you. I'm gonna share this book everywhere, and I'm gonna pick up a copy for myself.
I appreciate it, my friend.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. You have a good one now.
Hey, you too. God bless.
God bless you. Bye.